So anyway, that's what I was saying. I mean, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it just walked out of my life. And
No.
seriously, I mean, honestly,
God.
you wouldn't have believed it if you hadn't seen it.
That's
I
shocking.
swear to God.
You should tell them.
Anyway, sorry, fellas. Hello, good evening, welcome to Stephen. Bring your titty
there we
out.
are. Look, hey, we've got the little leprechaun slogan on our t-shirts now, just for the fun of it.
What's a leprechaun? Is it a leper with corns? Well,
Could be.
who knows? Anyway. Thank you very much for joining us, guys, and welcome once again to Paddy Pals talking. What are we talking?
Talking
about?
knives.
Talking knives.
Or whatever else comes up.
Talking knives. Absolutely.
No, we're looking forward to it. We've got a wee. Sometimes it's nice not to have a really in-depth subject because the chat you'll ask questions and we'll head off somewhere else anyway. So, but what we've done is we picked some of our knives that we don't use that much or we don't show off that much, and we sort of bring them out of the closet and let them have a wee look at daylight and see why we have them, talk a bit about them. But if you've got any questions that you want to ask, please feel free to ask any questions and we can head off on any subject you want, knife related or whatever.
And we've already got some ne'er-do-wells in the gallery, in the Rogues Gallery.
Yes.
So we've got Forbidabit, Gizmo, Early as Ever, Thrifty. I mean, you usually show up late, Thrifty, with John. What's going on? Are you all right? Are you all right?
do you need a cuddle?
There's Spiros, Randy's WSG, and we've got Matt Hoff, as well as Fitz and Moosey as well. So it's a good start for this evening.
Yes.
And it'll give us something to kick off.
Uh-huh.
But, anyway, this is my new uniform.
Yeah.
The wife was actually laughing her leg off when she saw me. First of all, she saw me ironing, and then and then second of all, she just looked at me and rolled her eyes when she said, "You've got a uniform now." I swear to God,
we'll have to get leprechaun hats.
Oh, I know. I swear though, she's going to start investing in more therapy for me soon, because she reckons that this hobby or habit or whatever the hell it is starting to get a wee bit beyond the pale. But
what I am going to do is when I do my big knife for the Christmas special, there will be a t-shirt of your size and a badge to go with it. It'll be ironed on, ready, and I'll send it to whoever wins. That'll be part of the first prize.
Now you see, merchandise like this doesn't come around every day.
No, we had to buy these separate and then stick them on here.
So that'll definitely be worth looking for. So we've also got James Ortiz in, and we've got Matt from Slipjoint Sawyer and Swamp Stomper, and Retro Stew as well. So
they're all coming in early. That's great.
Good crowd. Good crowd to get us started. So,
any of you boys get a nice knife that you want to share with us that you haven't shown on YouTube yet and give it away?
Absolutely. I haven't actually bought anything in a while. I've been controlling myself well.
Yeah. I
actually got something off the guy that you got the Caribbean Blue Copperhead from.
All right.
But it was just the wee Rough Rider tortoiseshell Barlow. It's in the post. It's still coming.
Yeah, I went to get that.
You do.
But the only thing that put me off in the picture, the bolster looked to be marked.
Yes, he said there was a slight mark in it. A slight mark on
big
it.
Mark on it. Well,
yeah, I'll have a look at it.
Yeah, it was only 18 quid or something.
Yeah, and I only have 2 Barlows, and I thought, well, let's get another one and at least
that is shameful.
But it is quite possibly.
It is shameful.
But I can live with my shame. I really can.
I can live with my shame. That's a better picture now.
It is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So what have we got? Any questions in there? Anybody got something they want to share with us?
Oh, Randy got himself a Taylor's Eyewitness.
Yes, I seen that.
And number 100.
Did I see that? Yeah.
And there's Lingowood from California. And the Knife Raven's in as well.
Lovely to see. I was watching a couple of his videos last night. He does a good video, that fella. But funny enough, it was only about 2 weeks ago. I had been taken off. I wasn't getting his feed. And it was only it came up unexpectedly one night and I went into it and I realised I'd been unsubscribed. So
just by accident?
But that's the thing with YouTube at the minute. I'm back to having it again. I went a while where I was getting loads of subs and it stopped and they're taking them off me again. So I don't understand how YouTube works it. And in fact, I'm past caring, to be honest.
Well, it is one of those
because you
things.
can let it wind you up, and there's not much point.
It's one of those mysteries of the universe, quite
Yeah.
probably. Quite
So,
probably.
shall we start with
Yeah,
a wee
let's-
knife? Show us a wee knife that you haven't showed.
Well, actually, we'll start with the case.
That's gorgeous.
We'll start with the case. Go
Oh,
on
yeah,
ahead.
I'll put it. I'm on the camera duties.
We'll
just going to switch
we'll
over.
go to the knife cam, and we'll be able to show you.
I love this little. Right, let me just get this on. See what it is. Look at that little beauty.
And I have very few case knives. I have
Oh, what's that?
2 or 3 case knives. I don't know what's going wrong with the. There we go. Just there. That's it there.
That's it there.
Yeah. I have very few case knives, and this was one Dan actually had on sale about a year and a half ago, and there was a blue one and a green one, and I went for the blue one because I wanted to. I know that there's this recurring quality control debate about case and whatever, so I didn't want to get a dodgy one. This was a really nice one. It's one of the older ones as well, so it was it was just and I wanted the Stockman.
Yeah.
So
and I love this little medium Stockman.
Yeah.
It's a perfect size for
it
dropping
really
your box.
is.
It's fun. If I got one here, well, no, it's a wee bit bigger. But yeah, I love the little medium Stockman. Really, and then you got 3 blades, so thin blades. They'll cut everything you want in a day.
Absolutely, but this is when you said to me bring a few knives that you don't use that often. That just sits in its drawer. I never have a case. If you'll excuse the pun, I never have a case to bring it out to use it. Because honestly, I go to pick it up and slip it in my pocket, and before it gets to my pocket, I see another knife that I'd prefer to carry. And I mean, isn't that half the time? That's what determines what you. It's notion, and it's.
Most of the time it's notion, but sometimes with something like that, if you force yourself and say, I'm going to carry this for 3 days or 2 days, is enough. That's my task for this week is 2 days.
Yeah.
And it makes all the difference. Then you realise the next time you go to pick it up, oh, that was nice.
That was actually a nice one.
And you sort of have to do that because otherwise you get very insular. You pick on one thing and that's it. You sort of stick. I have a terrible habit of doing that. I mean, I still have this in my back pocket. My bear.
Oh yeah.
I still have this in my back pocket. I got 3 weeks, over 3 weeks now. I've never done that before. But it's so handy there. I have a knife in my front pocket. But I have this in the back because whenever I need it, I don't have to hook in my pocket. I just bang, it's out.
Yeah, and it's there.
It really is, and that wee thing. But this is absolutely the colour. I'm just going to get one of my blue ones out because I have I have this one. It's a different colour. This is a darker blue.
Oh yes,
but
that's
you
the
can
wee
really
pterodactyl,
see,
isn't it?
Yeah, but look at that. How beautiful is that bone on both of them? It really
one's
is
a sort of
just.
one's a sort of pale. Pastel blue, and the other one's a really electric blue. It's
I now want this one.
Okay.
No, I mean I'm going to get myself one of these. I thought this was grey. I don't know. I think I'd seen it before or something in your, but.
And I think in thinking photographs and everything, it probably would come about a wee bit.
It's blue. That looks lovely.
Yeah.
You can see. But I mean, that's what are 2 lovely carries like.
I know, but that tends to lie, isn't it? I mean, Case can sometimes do really nice knives.
No, Case do very nice knives when they take care of their fit and finish.
That's fair enough.
I mean, they just need to take more care of that fit and finish. And it's funny, I was thinking, but they make a lot of knives. That's nonsense because you got sack knives who make billions.
Yeah.
And you don't get problems, or very rarely would you get a problem with a sack knife. The spring tension mightn't be as good on some, but they make billions.
Yeah, well, exactly.
There are never gaps up the back of them. I've never seen a gap, I don't think, ever.
No.
Never seen a
the
gap.
quality control issues that you get with the dodgy Case ones, you'd never get in Victorinox. I mean, it just doesn't happen.
Isn't this snapping all 3 blades?
It is a lovely
beautiful knife. Really, really nice.
But it is one of those. And would that be is that like a serpentine?
Serpentine, yeah. And most Stockmans will have a serpentine shape.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. It is a lovely shape. It's gentle. Fantastic. There's nothing sort of your hand's not being forced anywhere.
Yeah.
It just sits on the back of it.
It's a lovely little knife, and it is one that I regret not carrying more often. I have to say.
And I think most of the people in the talk box. I can never get the name. The talk box. Stockman. Let us know who's got a medium Stockman, because I would say it's one of those knives that nearly every knife collector even whether
Yeah.
they're slip joint or whatever, has a medium stockman.
Yeah.
Because they just slip in your pocket.
And if they don't, they probably should.
Yes,
Yeah.
it really is worth. I've only just got into the stock ones. I really didn't carry a stock
For a
one.
long time, you were never a big fan of multi-bladed knives
Nope.
anyway.
And now I've changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
As long as they're comfortable in my hand.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's what I'm carrying today, and that has got to be about the same size. It is exactly.
The
Yeah.
blue can.
This is my secondary carry, if you like, today.
What on earth is that?
This was a knife that was given to me. A boy in Scotland was doing his degree, and he made this for part of his degree,
Oh,
this
fantastic.
knife. And well, I bought it off him, but it was. I got it. It was very, very reasonably priced because it's got a few faults that you wouldn't sell if you were a professional maker. But nonetheless, I love the shape. But look at that blade. It's like a reverse tanto. Yeah,
Jinx!
reverse tanto, and that's why it just spoke to me so much. And it's a lovely handle, but it's exactly the same size as that case Stockman. There you go.
Yeah, it is
exactly the
actually,
same
yeah.
size. Now I just don't know whether the blade will be as big, but I think it'll probably be as close as you're going to get.
To that clip.
It's
one?
exactly no. There we go.
It's a wee
bit
bit longer.
smaller.
We're talking
But you've got a wee
millimeters.
bit more
What about
down
again,
here.
the camera?
Sorry. It's a little bit smaller, but not enough that's going to make
No,
any difference.
absolutely.
There's a nice thin edge in this too. But I've been carrying that today. I think that's what put it into my head. I'd seen that. I was going through my box thinking, what am I going to talk about later on tonight? Seen this and thought, oh, I haven't carried that for ages. And it's just a lovely carry. It's G10, but it has that really weird shaped handle. But when you put your hand on it,
It's almost like a gun
yeah,
grip
you have
kind of thing.
yeah, it is.
A pistol
It's
grip.
it's so comfortable.
That is. That just sits into the.
It's a lovely
into
shape.
what do you call it? Into the
Uh-huh.
heel of your hand.
Yes, it does.
Really.
It is
That's
really
a good
nice.
spring on it.
Yeah. It's more to do with the blade and little tiny things that you would pick up. But I was lovely. I was really glad to get it off him. And it's one that will stay forever. I mean, it's just a one-off.
Yeah.
There isn't another one.
What's the stain? Is it an O2?
I
or
have
something, or
I have no idea.
no idea. Didn't ask.
I probably did at the time, but I've,
Oh,
I've
right,
slept
fair
since then. Once I sleep.
The forgetting has happened. The forgetting
The
has happened.
3-case medium stockmans. Yeah, I've got a couple myself, but they are just sort of handy
So
knives.
does it thrifty? I think your collection of Stockmans is now legendary. Doesn't Thrifty collect sow belly Stockmans?
No, that's 50 Canifa. Yes, sorry,
Yeah,
did you say that?
yeah.
I thought you that's right. Yeah. Oh, he's got an amazing collection
Yeah.
of sow bellies. Just beautiful, and ordinary Stockmans, not just sow bellies. He's got a
Yeah.
huge collection. But sow bellies, I think he has every one ever made.
Yeah. Now that's a proper collection.
You'll have to read that. I haven't got
That's Swamp Stomper said that certain case models tend to be worse than others. And he got his first lemon last month, which was a junior saltbuster and peach seed jig. Multiple issues, so it's
Yeah.
not just the centering or it's not just the
Yeah, it could
gapping.
be.
It's a combination of all of them.
And I think that's why I say now I don't buy them unless I'm buying from a dealer who I know will check it before he sends it. Plus the fact I can send it back easily if he doesn't. Or I can see pictures of it all the way around the knife. You know the way sometimes
Yeah.
if you're buying on that second-hand market, you get a front, you get the pile, and they don't show you the back spring, they don't show you the centre. And I ask for that now, but especially with the case. But I do it with every knife now, just in case.
No, I think I think that's always wise, especially if you're spending above a certain threshold.
But the other thing is buy off friends.
Yeah, this is very
Just buy off friends. There's somebody like Thrifty Caniff there, might have 3 or 4 of the exact same knife, and he'd be happy to get rid of one. You can check out with friends, have you got one to sell? Or put it up on your Instagram page. Anybody got...
happy.
Yeah.
Happy to sell. Don't you think that John, with that kind of
Yeah, but he wouldn't want 3 of the same kind.
I know,
Would you?
but then it'd be like Sophie's Choice. He'd be like trying to separate the children from his children.
It's a knife.
Which one do I give up? Okie dokie. Yes, Eugene's saying that David C. Anderson feels a disturbance in the force when someone says reverse tanto. That's David saying, yeah.
I like David. He
yeah.
really is a nice fella. And the boy that does the camera work's good too.
He's very good, actually. So some of them are always working
They're
with.
probably the best pairing, I think, on... It used to be Smoky Mountain Knife Work, and before that it was Blade HQ.
Yeah.
Because I loved the boys in Blade HQ. What do you call them? What's up, everybody?
Oh,
he makes his own
Adam?
knife now. He makes his,
the Banter Boy.
Yes,
Oh
yeah.
God, well, I can't
the
remember his
Banter
name.
Boy.
Please help us in the comments. He's the most likable man on
He
earth.
is. His YouTube channel is fantastic.
Is it really?
No, it's not.
No,
his
that's
YouTube.
It's Adam is the other guy.
Yes, the other
Who's
guy.
the-
Yes, he
the
took
ba-
over
the-
from
yeah,
him. Yes,
Yes.
but he's lovely as well.
Yeah,
His
he's
channel is
fantastic,
great.
and he's a born enthusiast.
Uh-huh.
But
And that
yeah.
was their cameraman at Blade HQ that does
Yeah.
with Adam now.
Oh right, I get you. Gotcha.
And they're getting
There's-
some good backing now.
There's Matt Hoff. The only stockman you have is a GEC 66, and that's a good stockman to have, I would imagine. If it's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
GEC.
the only GEC one I've got now, I used to have other ones, but I've got the Stockyard Whittler, which is another, I call it a stockman, but it's got the punch.
Oh, that punch is amazing.
And
though.
it is a beautiful punch now, I have to say. I think this is,
you wanna
again,
go
this is,
The
this-
cam for this one? Or
yeah, if
just
you
hold
want.
it? We'll go to cam.
Oh, yeah, cam.
There we go.
There you go. That's one of the prettiest knives I believe GEC ever done. I think it's one of the nicest.
What model
Look
is
at
that?
that
Is that
lovely
the-
sheep's foot.
Is that the
This
66 as well?
is, no, it's 29.
Right.
The 29 Stockyard Whittler, it is just gorgeous. And it has the punch is just beautifully,
That is
it's
just
sharpened
dangerous
up
looking.
the edge. Yeah, it is.
It really
And
is.
I mean, I used it to go through wood. I checked it going through wood and it was about 1/2 inch wood. That was just pine. But honestly, about 10 strokes and I was actually through 1/2 inch pine.
Good grief.
And that was without any pressure because I was frightened of breaking it
Uh-huh.
because I paid so much for the thing. But it is a
It's
beautiful.
not a
and
knife
that
that you would
bone,
want to hard to use, but it probably would
bone
stick
in
up to
that
it.
is just
It is. It's
beautiful.
another one of those gorgeous ones that glows.
Look, I just want to lick it. It's like a strawberry. I keep saying that, but to me, it's like a strawberry.
Now, let's not get into the whole licking thing again. You know
Well,
what trouble
You'll not know if you really like something until
Thrifty
you've
and
licked
Matt
it.
got into.
You have to lick it to see if you like it.
But actually, talking about GCs, I was. Mike's Knives had the Cody
I've
Scout.
seen that. Beautiful knife.
I came
Get it.
so close.
Get it.
Really? Is it worth
Really.
having the
Well,
lock
see,
back?
here's the. This is a 73. This is the non-locking version, but that's put it in your hand. You see, you've
Because
handled
that's
that.
a trapper
yeah.
handle.
Yeah, it is
It is. It's just
beautiful.
Lovely.
Cody Scout. GC just done a run of Cody Scouts.
77, is it?
No,
76?
72.
72.
That's a 73.
That's a 73. Right. And it's
Exactly.
it's
the same
so
as
it's the
that.
lock back, but it's got the
Very
the
much the
clip
same
point.
as that. Yeah.
And it was lovely, but I think he has it in the Chechen Rosewood,
He has one left.
the north
Yeah,
woods.
I looked at it last night. He had one left. Honestly, it's really worth it. The wood is gorgeous. The knife is,
Okay.
and it will go up in price in time.
Right. I'll
Not that that should ever be a thing.
I know, but I'll have another. It would be a pity to miss it
Yeah.
if I'm sort of.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. I mean, I really did want it, but I like again in my collection. I don't have two of the same, and they look so alike that
Would be the point? Yeah.
I'm going to carry this one because it's not got a lock on it. To be
Yeah.
honest, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have this one, I would buy that
Yeah.
one without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Because to try and get a 73 is quite difficult.
I was actually watching Jersey.
Yeah.
Because he has a lovely collection of the Cody Scouts. He has
Yeah.
about 4 of them,
Uh-huh.
and that's the thing that almost put me over the edge. I have to say. So.
I'm telling you, see that fella, Jersey. He has probably got one of the best collections of knives. Full stop.
Really.
He really has. Very, very modest, but his collection, well, the collection's not modest. I mean, like he would buy when GEC were not popular, or not that they weren't popular. They didn't sell straight away. They'd lie in for a couple of weeks in the dealers' shops because there wasn't that many people paying that much money for a. Now they would rip your arm off to get it. He has a huge collection, absolutely.
It is
huge.
vast.
And his case collection is just probably second to none too.
Yeah. Well.
You know, for just an everyday, not an everyday collector.
But
'cause he's
doesn't
not.
Jersey collect everything? It seems to be
He's-
pretty much
he's
it. 'Cause
very
he's got
much-
Rough Riders as well.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
which is amazing. And
But he's been like that all his life, and
Yeah.
I can identify. You get a hobby, you get completely immersed in it.
Uh-huh.
Then I run out of speed and move on to
Into
another
something
one.
else.
Get completely immersed in it. This is the longest I've ever had a hobby ever.
Well, there you go.
This is the longest ever.
I suppose the good thing that can be said about this hobby is that it can be contained to a relatively modest space. Can be. Doesn't necessarily mean that it is.
Well, to be honest with you, after years of doing it, I have brought mine down. I don't have a huge collection anymore. Everything that I collect is here in front of us.
Yeah, no, but it's the same with me. It's the same with me.
It's not huge.
It was really funny because Jane, my wife, had a friend over, she was just catching up with them, and I said I have to go and get the podcast ready to go, and she said, "Oh, Judd, you've got a podcast? What is it you do?" So I just went like this. And you know the old adage about you show don't tell, okay? So we just walked into the room and I pulled the drawer out and I swear to God, she just said, "Oh, Justin," as if I needed serious help.
That's what my sister-in-law would be like, very much like. That's what she would say. Oh dear.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's almost as if she's half wishing that it had never come out of her lips, you know. But it's oh dear, you are in serious trouble.
Who's that there?
There's Lingowood. He's got serious Stockman knives from many manufacturers.
Has he got a YouTube channel, Lingo?
I have no idea, actually. He's got 30 from Fighting Rooster, because you've got a couple of Fighting Rooster
Yeah,
knives.
I've got a Fighting Rooster Stockman too. Is it? I think it's the Fighting Rooster.
But the point is that none of Fighting Roosters have backspring gaps, and he's sort of
they are
saying, why can't kids do the same?
This is one of my favourite Stockmans. I don't use it that much because it's got the
well, let's go to the cam again.
It's got the etch on the big blade, the main blade, and I really...
You're on camera, go ahead.
Oh, I'm on camera?
Yeah.
Camera action.
Camera.
Do I look good?
Well, get the knife in!
Right. That's my Fighting Rooster. This is one of my prized knives. I love this knife. And the reason I love it, because I played rugby, this is Swing Low Sweet Chariot,
of course.
Which is a real
classic
famous
anthem, yeah.
And when I was in the Navy, I was playing it was British, but Swing Low Sweet Chariot was the song you sang. I just love that. Really beautiful. Absolute perfection as far as, listen to the snap on that. Beautiful backspring.
Absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful. And then that bone, look at that beautiful horn, buffalo horn. Isn't that just beautiful?
It is.
It's
brilliant.
Just milky through it. Love it.
It's a lovely shape on that, actually.
It's really, but you can see it as that serpentine shape that you were talking about. Yeah. It's that. I mean, when you see something like this, you have to buy it because you never know when you're going to see another one.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And that's the truth with a lot of things. Yeah, I've got some nice Stockmans now, which was, again, like you said, I never really had multi-bladed knives, maybe 2 blades at a push, but no, I'm enjoying them multi-bladed now more and more.
Yeah.
And I think I always didn't want them because they weren't. A lot of them are not particularly comfortable because you get the square, the right angle square at the back of the blade, and you put in your finger. And I thought, after a while, I thought, how long am I going to be using this for? It's usually out, whip something. I don't even put my finger across there. I'll hold it side on, with a pinch grip. Yeah. That's the way I cut most things.
And it is true because you do think about things like that when you know how comfortable is it going to be. But really, to be honest,
slip joint.
And
I mean, I've got lovely slip joints that I want to get, that are comfortable the whole way. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, very nice. So what else have we got?
You go on.
Well, tell you what we've got is...
This is just beautiful.
James Ortiz, we'll come to the stag in a bit, but James Ortiz was just saying that he uses a $20 classic. And I mean, I'm a big fan of the small Swiss Army knives myself. And I would always carry it, but I prefer the 74mm. So the Ambassador and the Executive. But what I've got today is one that I don't carry an awful lot.
I'll show them
Well, there's the Executive. Okay, so there's your standard Executive. Okay, which is 74mm. I don't think we have any. Oh, we do. We have a Rambler there. And there's your wee Classic.
I have another Rambler.
Okay, so there's the Classic, and there's the Executive. So it's a little bit.
It just gives you a blade that you can actually use to cut.
And the scissors are a wee bit bigger.
Yes.
And the scissors are a wee bit bigger. So I prefer to carry the 74mm one.
They're hard to get too now, aren't they?
They're getting more difficult to get, I have to say. So having one in your back pocket
is
or in your collection.
Too,
no, that's an 85.
85.
That's a Wenger. So it's a little bit bigger again. And the 85mm, the 84mm in Victorinox and the 85mm in Wenger are both, to me, are almost a sweet spot in terms of the
beautiful
size. And if they only did the full range of options on the 85 or 84, I would be all over them like a cheap suit, I have to say. But the one I've got today is a little bit special. And again, it comes into what what Stephen was saying about one that you don't use that often, and it's really, well, there's two reasons for it. One, it doesn't have a what do you call it? A key ring attachment that you can attach to a wee hanger.
Yeah, there's a question. Can you actually buy one and put it on?
Not if there's not the wee ring.
You know the clip, the pocket clip. Does it not
yeah.
have a key ring at the back of it? A hole for a key for a?
It may well do. I don't know. But most of the adhesive pocket clips I find are too big for sacks, and they bulk them out too much.
Yeah, because that one that goes over the top and down in, it's not adhesive. It actually screws in, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it screws in to the keyring hole.
Right.
So you actually need the keyring hole before you start it.
Yeah, I thought they actually... Oh, right, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's where the fitting is. But this one is called... Oh, what's it called? It's called a Director. So it's this one.
One of my favourite knives.
This one here. And it's... Basically, it's an executive in stainless steel. And it's just beautiful.
It's that old, it's that old milled.
Yeah, it's very like the Bayard. Actually, it's very like.
It's
but not titanium, of course.
The old milled knives that you used to get, where you can see that's been well used. This one, there we go.
Yeah,
you can see that knurling there, which is just beautiful. And let me show you the blades just in case. So you're going to have your little pen blade. You have your master spear, but they're like two little pen blades. Sorry, I'm not looking at that. And then you also have the grapefruit peeler, is it?
Well, I'm sure you could peel a grapefruit with it. Orange peeler, as they say. Which actually doubles up as a screwdriver.
Yes, there's a screwdriver at the top. I've never used it myself.
I don't think I ever would. I'd be afraid of it breaking, to be honest.
And then the other side, you have a really decent pair of scissors, like Justin was saying. They're just more useful than the small classic.
Absolutely. It's just a little bit more length to them.
And I'm not a screwdriver person,
which makes it
a
wee bit more.
And then that is a beautiful nail cleaner. Absolutely one of my favourite. And then you have the file, which is just, this one has got the cross file, hasn't it, on this?
Yeah, so it's slightly older.
Yeah. It's beautiful. That is a real lovely gentleman's tool. Very, very nice.
And it is. That's exactly it. It's a gentleman's tool for slipping in a wee what do you call it? A wee slipper into a waistcoat pocket.
Yeah,
exactly. So which you don't get to wear enough anymore. But so that's James. That's what I was saying. Is the director or the ambassador or the executive would be my go-to in terms of sort of a daily pocket carry, especially around the office. And I work in healthcare myself, so I know what you mean in terms of making sure that there's nothing too threatening, for want of a better word, but at the same time very, very useful. Because a little pair of scissors and a little blade on a little knife. Sometimes even the little tweezers can help you out of it in any number of little things.
Yeah, and I think that's why EDC, it's called EDC, but it's also being prepared. I mean, it's typical as a Boy Scout. Be prepared for anything that comes, as much as you can. Yeah, and having that simple little pocket. I love the Rambler. Yeah, I just love my Rambler. Yeah. I've only got. Have I got one there?
I think it was in that drawer actually, or do you have it out?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, my brass one. Sorry, it's over here. Yeah. I have a lovely little brass Rambler. And you really feel this if you put it into your fifth pocket, you know it's there, which is handy because I could quite happily forget. This is a little Rambler in brass. They're quite expensive, but it's about 60 quid, I think I paid for it.
Yeah, but it's nicely personalised.
It's lovely, and it really is. It's personalised. Got my initials PPP. Oh, where am I? PPP on it, and it's a lovely weighty wee knife with the cross cut into it as well.
To be honest, I mean, I got myself a pair of brass scales for a Rambler from, what do you call it, AliExpress. AliExpress. it wasn't much cheaper than you paid, you know, because
Uh-huh.
it was still about 20 quid to get them over here.
Yeah.
Rambler's about 25 quid, I think.
Yeah,
so
I
it's,
think it is, yeah.
So it's bumping up the price, you know, without even trying. And then to get it personalised and
Yeah.
put together yourself.
No, I was really pleased with that. Now,
Yeah.
it was a company in London, so I was never going to get it cheap anyway.
Exactly.
But I was pleased I went with them.
Okie dokie. So what's your next one?
My next one, well, we're talking about Stockmans. And here's a Stockman that I use a lot, but I don't show a lot.
All right.
Like that knife that's in my pocket now, this one here. I used to use this all the time, and I'm going to get back in. It's going to go back in my rotation. But this is one, and this is an old pal cutlery. And it really is, the honey bone on this is just...
That's the one that's really worn down.
Oh,
isn't
it's really quite well used. Well, not really. It is well used. And even the blades on it. If I show you, this is the main blade on it. Look how well it's really been well used. Now it's been looked after, but used well.
Yeah.
I just love this blade, and it takes the most wicked edge. Feel the edge on that little knife.
Jesus.
It's a real. I mean, and that's the joy about.
There's nothing behind
off it.
the
No,
edge.
nothing. And I mean, we all talk about the bear, how thin it is.
Yeah.
These
I mean,
old, 1940 knives.
Yeah.
There were nothing behind the edge, yeah. And I mean, it's the geometry is going to get you through a cut. And even when it's blunt, this will get you through a cardboard, you know what I mean? Because there's nothing behind, it's just, there's nothing at all. It's just a beautiful knife. It nearly disappears. So, I mean, this is one that I don't carry, but, I absolutely love it. And all the blades have been used. And again, used but not abused is my way of saying it. And it's a knife that I want to put, I really need to show more often, because for all this cost me on Etsy, I think I paid about £30 for it.
Yeah.
I can't think who makes it. I'm just gonna. It just says on it, Pal Cutlery Co. made in the USA. So it's I think it's a fairly old one, mid-century, I would think, maybe it's
possibly.
a bit before 40s, 50s.
It's definitely seen a bit of life.
It has. It really
Definitely.
has. It's lovely. And I love sharpening this up, stropping it, because that's all. Once you've got an edge, you strop it and it goes back in seconds. But just a lovely carry. And I don't, just cut myself.
Oh, yeah, idiot.
The,
It wouldn't be.
it is
wouldn't
cut.
be.
It's just not coming out yet.
It wouldn't be alive if neither of us got
Yeah.
cut. It has to be
So,
said.
getting an old knife and using it is the pleasure I get of that is love. I just love the pleasure in getting an old knife, and then you put an edge on it and you think, wow, that's as good as anything I've got at any price range.
That's the truth.
It's the
Hold on a second.
I'm
I think
dying.
I've got you covered.
I don't need a plaster. I've got a wee here. Got a wee.
I think I have.
It'll be all right.
Hold on.
I don't think I'll need it. Let's probably just stop in one way. He's like my mommy, my wee mommy.
Where am I?
I have no idea.
Where's my thing?
When I was young and in the 60s, people made their own toolboxes out of wood and oil. Yeah, I mean, had open L's in there. Yeah, it's
Just saying, EDC people.
I've got ADC pack up there.
For goodness sake. Why do I bother? Why do I
I
bother?
did tell you, you just didn't want to listen. Should I have took it out of just being nice? Oh no, I'll not take it out of that lovely wee pair of scissors.
See?
That's lovely. Is that going in your wallet?
Uh-huh.
Is that just a pair of...
It's a pair of Victorinox scissors out of a Swiss card, together with the pen and the... I think it's the...
tweezers?
The tweezers, yeah.
And what have you got it wrapped in?
It's a wee bit of shrink wrap,
Right.
just to hold it all together. And then that's the Quattro screwdriver thing.
See, isn't that lovely? Somebody gets their wallet out and then you find, we think, that's a lovely little thing to... I have, the Swiss card.
Yeah.
I love the Swiss card. Now, I don't put it in my wallet, though, I have to say.
Well, I've got 4 Swiss cards now, and what I found was I wasn't carrying them because
No.
they actually take up too much room in your
Yeah.
wallet. But what I really realised was that if you take the tools out and just hold them on their own, with the ones that you need,
I think that's a smashing idea.
yeah. And I mean, there's nothing, absolutely nothing to that.
Yeah.
If I take that out, you see,
I know.
that's it. That's
I mean,
it.
a sideways view of it is just absolutely
That's
fantastic.
literally it.
It's no wider than a key, your average house
Yeah.
key.
Totally.
I
I
think
just-
that's a great idea.
And it just goes in there with a couple of plasters.
Do you know I used to have and I bought when I was doing my kits, going back a few years. I had one of those, the machines if you got your ID and you want to laminate it. I had a wee laminating machine.
Uh-huh.
And it was brilliant. I used to put a stack of things, matches and things that laminate. And I had just drawers I could pick out what I wanted for any particular.
I have to say, there are a few things more satisfying than laminating
Oh, it's
stuff.
just gorgeous.
Okay, what
Almost
we've
have
got,
some
we've got a little
questions.
bit, we've got a little bit of literary show offery here, which I'm a big fan of. So Lingo was just saying, William Howells stated, "We are creatures of the moment. We live from one little space to another, and only one interest at a time fills these." What he probably could have gone on to say was that interest can fill it to the point of obsession. So yeah, but absolutely true, especially for us, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, like you were talking about Pete, but Pete all his life, like he collected those footballers' cards, the American rounders. What do you call it? Baseball?
Baseball. Rounders, of course.
Well, that's what it is.
There's going to be a revolution.
And we lost the last one.
Baseball is a beautiful game, Stephen. I mean, I know you don't understand it, but it's a
I do,
lovely
it's
game.
rounders. Complicated.
It may have come in some wee form from rounders, but it has its
Somebody
own
throws a
particular
ball at
history.
it, you hit it, and you have to run round wee spots in the ground.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Really complicated rules.
Like I can't talk. I'm a Red Sox fan, so I can't.
Doesn't matter
talk
what
about
clothes
it.
you
Yes.
wear. It's a very simple game.
So, anyway, apparently Matt says that we look adorable in our matching tops.
I think he's right. Do you know, it's not very often you say that, but I think Matt's right.
For the first time ever,
Yeah.
Matt Slipjoint Sawyer, stop the presses is right. Okay? And I just want to come back very quick because Gizmo asked a question here about whether either of us have bought a Suitha, and Suitha is the alternative to Victorinox. It's another form of Swiss Army knife. And to be honest, Gizmo, no. I'm a kind of a Victorinox or die kind of person, and I'm even reluctant to buy Wenger, although Wenger used to make a really good knife. But
I like the banger as well.
But Suitha, I've always thought of as a poor man's Swiss Army knife, I have to admit. And
It's a bit like the one you bought last week. There's just come out that new model that's in aluminium and all that.
yeah,
I didn't get it either, and it wasn't.
it didn't go. Although that one had a little bit of heft to it. The problem with Suiza ones is that I find them a wee bit light on it. They don't have the same feeling of quality as Victorinox do.
Yeah.
They've got a rubberized handle, so that is again a different kind of feel. If you like that kind of thing, it might work for you. It's also contoured slightly differently, so it's got a different.
I just don't
hand.
think they look as nice, and it's as simple as that. The sacks are clean, simple, straightforward. That Swiss is like, make it a wee bit jazzy, and it just didn't do it for me.
No, and I quite
simple.
agree. So the answer is no, Gizmo. And while I'm still giving an opinion on it without ever having had one in hand.
What I'll do though is if I see one coming up on the secondary market, it's a reasonable price, I'll get one and we'll do a wee review one night on it. Yeah, we'll do that.
Rip the absolute living ass out of it, shall we?
Or fall in love and sell all our sacks.
Yeah, we'll rip the absolute ass out of it. Yes, that's what we'll do. We know that. Okay. Yes, Mikey Newman. Sorry. He has a problem. No, it's not just us. Fortunately, it's also thrifty and slippy.
If you haven't got a YouTube channel and you're on here, would you do me a favour and put your YouTube channel under your name as well? If you're going to write something, because I'd like to call it out and give your channel a shout out. This is a great way of doing it because the people that are in here are people who watch YouTube channels.
Yeah,
and they'll get it out through their channel as well. So if you have got a YouTube channel and you're not somebody that normally is in here, or if I say I don't know who you are, stick it down. If you've got Instagram or YouTube, stick it down. We'll give you a shout out.
And apart from anything else, it'll give us something else to watch, because otherwise I'm watching Matt Sawyer every day of the week, and I mean, come on, there's only so much Slipjoint Sawyer.
Matt's doing more than me now.
I know. Doesn't he have a day job?
Andy does that. The prison one. What do you call it?
The prison one?
Aye. The new thing he started up, but a sanitarium, sorry, not a prison. Sanitarium.
Oh.
He's on there every blooming day too. I don't know.
The Discord sanitarium?
That's the chaps, yes.
Yeah, I actually managed to find my way onto that.
I did a comment.
Oh, did you? Well done. Did your grandkids help you get on?
No, I done it myself. And then that later on that day, he opened up another one within the sanitarium, and I got onto it and said hello. Haven't been back since.
I have rarely seen Stephen so satisfied with himself.
I'm getting so much. You see, once I catch up with you lot, God love yous. I'm going to be untouchable.
Let's keep running ahead in case he does catch up with us. Yes. Apparently somebody called Thrifty Kniffy has a channel that but he doesn't come here much. He comes here way too flaming often.
There's North Star Knife Reviews.
The only reason, John, that you come here is to try and get material for your show.
Judd,
where are we?
Judd, find out if I'm next to.
Have you ordered the Baha'i?
No, but I will be getting one. I was told in July. They just haven't arrived yet.
Yeah,
I'll not get mine until the shipment comes in. He'll maybe send mine out a day before you will, but hopefully that'll give me a day to get a post up about it.
Good. And don't worry about it, Tony. You know that with Stephen's record with front flippers, he usually just hands them to me to take care of that that piece of action. So, I mean, we've got him covered there, all right.
It's a front flipper.
Well, apparently.
All right.
I thought it was a double D10.
Double D10?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know it was a front flipper.
Might be a front flipper too.
Well, then it would be a lighter
D10 on it. That's
so that I might be able to do it. I still can't get that Jack Wolf one. I get it, and I do three or four in a row.
Hang on a second. You might be able to do it, Stephen. That is obviously being overly optimistic.
Very much so. You are correct. Tony, oh yeah.
Okay, Mikey. No, they no longer make Wenger. Wenger were discontinued, I think, around about 2012. Mm-hmm. What happened was that they sort of Victorinox subsumed Wenger, and they started using the Wenger models in the Delamont range. But as of this year, they've discontinued the Delamont range as well. So if you see Delamont, all of their range are 85mm knives with the old Wenger tool sets.
Get them.
And you know, if you like the look of them, that now's the time to get them, because they will not be.
And the Wenger are going to start getting rarer and rarer. As
if you can pick up an original Wenger. Wenger are actually better than the Delamont, because I'm better, different. I prefer them because they have the smooth scales, not the ergonomic scales as they talked about. You know, the sort of rippled ones. But yeah, so get them if you can. And
the 84, 85 models, they really are a sweet spot, because you don't feel them in your pocket. They're 2-layer. They're just so simple, but enough to get you through.
Yeah, it's funny because it's not a knife. It was one of the other knife I should have brought. Actually, the one Swiss Army knife that I keep on picking up, but keep on putting back into the drawer is my Recruit, and it's got the same toffee scales as your one. You know, the one that you carry. In my Carta, but it's 84mm 2-layer. It's just a Spartan, but it's got no back tools.
Yeah,
absolutely gorgeous.
Perfect.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Because in all reality, how many of us use the back tools that often?
Very rarely.
Now I will use the punch.
Yeah.
Especially if kids with belts and need tightening or whatever. It's handy to have that, but I could live without it. I'll find another way of getting a hole.
No, very true. But it's
carrying the Spidey stretch. I really like the Spidey stretch. It's been on offer over in the States.
In K390?
Yeah, but it was about it was cheaper than the original model of it in S30V. K390, I think it was 126 or something.
Isn't that the one that Pete from Cedric United?
Yes,
he loves it.
Yeah,
it's one of his favourite uses.
See, I like the old stretch because it had the UK PK that's got the sort of
the drop point.
It's got but it was a humpy type one. That's what the old stretch was like. I haven't got one anymore now. I used to have a Ganzo do one off it, the old blade, and it's beautiful. I loved it. This has just made it more like a Para 2 with a better handle. The Para 2, I made no bones about this. Lovely knife, lovely looking knife, really good, but see if you have to use it for any length of time without a pair of gloves on.
The compression lock?
No, it's the handle.
Oh,
it's really quite sharp, and it becomes really uncomfortable to use.
Oh, the Para 2, not the Para 3.
No, the Para 2 really does. So The stretch is now got the same blade shape as the Para 2, but it's got the handle of the stretch, which is a deeper handle. It's a lovely, gentle swoop through it. It's so comfortable, really is. And I looked at that. But then by the time I would get it sent over here, or not sent over here, but paid the tax and then whatever, it is taken up
and
out of the bracket because I don't need it. It would be a want knife.
Yeah, it's another one of those Spyderco. But the K390 is supposed to be a really.
It is.
Really
I had
good
that. That was on my my other fancy slip joint. The what do you call your man that does knives? Do you remember I had it?
Which man would that be? Every man that we've
no. He's a nice wee man.
And he makes knives. That narrows it down nicely.
He's a custom knife maker.
Ashley.
No, he's American. Did I not say that?
Tony Bowes?
No, do you remember the knife I used to have and you loved it? It had the no, mine was all titanium, wasn't it? Beautiful knife in hand, really rounded over. It was when Jack Worth first came out and I bought it to compare the two.
Oh, the Pena.
The Pena. Yes.
And it was in K390,
K390,
that's right.
K390, but I didn't have it long enough to dull it. It is,
the
really.
light dawns. M390, K390, yes.
Cedric Aneda, he has done the tests on that K390 and it's just unbelievable.
I think it was into 1,200 cuts or something at one point. With that ridiculous.
I think it was only maximum.
Rope.
It was sort of
coming close to it.
Coming close. I mean, I'll have to be honest. The Jack Wolf knife S90V is fantastic. It's another real high retention. What's the other one I've got though? That just what did I get? Was
that the Sage?
The Sage,
Maximate?
In Maximate, I got the Sage off Justin, and honestly, it is the most nasty edge. It just takes a wicked edge.
But it's really, what's the word? Toothy. It's toothy.
That's what I mean. It's wicked. Like you get a sharp knife and you get a razor like edge. It's not. It just comes like you just feel as if it's going to jump out and get you. And I mean, it's just so.
I love Stephen's technical description. What's the edge? Like, well, the edge has been angled at 15 degrees down to a mirror, but it also goes.
But that's the way it makes me feel. It's just get over and cut something.
I know, that's right.
It's just and I mean that's the personality of that knife. I mean, the Sage is a lovely sort of gentlemanly type of a larger knife. Yeah. But you stick Maximate on it and it just turns into a she-devil.
Yeah, that's right. An absolute beast.
Not a she-devil. What do you call them wee devils in Australia?
Tasmanian
devil, yes. That's what I'm going to call mine. The Tasmanian devil.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh dear.
And that all came from a stretch too.
Okay, so I think this. I'm not sure if this is meant directly at us, but I mean, do you occasionally show a knife? I think it's not so subtle, John, but it's a well-made point. Okay, so let's show another knife. What have we got? What have I got?
Well, look, here's a GEC that I don't show a lot.
Is this one of your boys' knives?
Yeah, this is the 15, but this one was it used to be had the bottle opener on it.
Oh yes.
And I got I bought this. The bottle opener had been deleted from it. It's in snakewood.
Snakewood.
It's in snakewood, which you'll never pick up on there. It's quite a dark. It
wouldn't
pick it up on there.
Right, gotcha.
But I mean, it's got the easy opening notch, which came with the original, which was the boy's knife number 15 blade.
Yeah.
And you had the bottle opener and screwdriver.
That's sheep's
I don't know, but I always wanted a 15 in the sheep's foot, and they're like hen's teeth.
Yeah.
To get absolute hen's teeth. So when I got the chance of getting this off one of the group members, I just jumped at it.
I love the way your wee finger just falls in.
The third. Really. Well, it's my third finger.
Yeah. Girlish hands again.
No, okay. I wasn't saying it for that. Sweetie pie.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, it's a
lovely wee knife. Actually,
really, it's a knife I should show more because of its simplicity. We all, you can get the fancy GECs that have got the writing on the bolsters, and I love them. I've got them. But I use that more than any of them.
And it's funny because I've got the 15 in just the standard spear.
Correct,
in the standard spear, and it's almost exactly the same as this, but it's the green micarta,
and it's no easy open.
And it's just the standard one. And it's funny. It's one of those now. It's like the case. It's another one of those knives you pick up, turn, and go. No, I'll take something else instead. Because I mean, it's funny. It always amazes me that this is one of your favorites because it's such a plain and small.
Yeah.
Knife.
2.5-inch blade.
Yeah.
I would say, what is it? Let me just check to see what it is. But I think it's about 2.5 inches. And like I keep saying, if you give me 2.5 inches, he's awful shy.
That one's going wrong. Also,
if
again, your optimism is is overwhelming.
2.5 inches cutting edge,
Yeah.
which is perfect. I can do all my EDC tasks with this.
Okay.
If it's something bigger I have to do, I'll go and get a bigger knife.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's that.
Or I'll have my back pocket carry, which I'm going to carry. I carry the Snipex. If I was going out to do a bit of a job, I have these Snipex and I carry them on my belt. And this is another belt, one that I've forgotten I had.
Oh, very nice.
So that takes my 71 bullnose, and it also takes my big 23, and it just fits completely in there, perfect. And all you get is the leather thong coming out the bottom, and it'll go in my back pocket. And I've got a big 23, which is one. Shall I show you?
Please do.
I'll show you my big.
20. Oh, is that the big?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that
this
one.
This is the 23 pattern.
It's another toffee bone.
Yeah, it's beautiful bone. But I mean that's over. It's about 4 1/4. I think it's 4. It's 4 or 4 1/4. I think it's 4 1/4. No, it's 4. It's a full 4 inches dead, and that'll just go in there. Look at that. It's hidden. I've got my little bit of leather sticking out, and that'll go in my belt, and I'll not feel that, or it's just perfect. So I will be doing a back belt carry every day now.
Yeah.
The 71 goes in there, which I would use a lot if I'm going to...
71's a great... I love my...
It means you can have a pretty knife in my front right.
Yeah. And carry a working knife on your hip.
Back, yeah. Anything I'm going to go for is going to be outside. So.
Matt Hoff's asking, have you ever seen a 97 Allegheny Jack?
Yes.
Okay, moving on.
It is a big beastie.
Is it a monster?
It's a big knife, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you would have to be a fan of big knives. Or your work dictates you have to have a big knife.
It, yeah.
It's a lovely knife, and they're lovely to have in your collection. I sold mine on and regretted it.
Oh, really?
Not because I overloved the knife. It was...
What was the blade shape? Was it a spear or?
I think mine was a... Did I have a clip point? I think it was really early on. It was quite a while ago. I can't remember. And I lost a number 54, which is a big bull moose. Big, heavy. It had orange, like crushed orange scales. Massive big knife. I sold it to a boy in Germany. Sent it in the post to Germany. Recorded, whatever. Didn't get past
customs.
Belfast. Got lost in the Belfast post office.
Good grief.
I've never seen it again. Never seen, and I've only ever seen one again on YouTube from then. The crushed orange was just beautiful. If you go back in my videos, you'll see it. It was a really lovely knife. So I mean, I've had lots of big knives, but I've kept that one. That 23 is what's he say? Give me 2.5 inches, Paddy 2023. Yeah, I'm proud of that. I don't even squeal.
No, what North Star is pointing out is he'll make John jealous. But yes, it's nice to know that romance is still alive there.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so anyway. Yes, Matt's just saying that his Allegheny Jack is a clip point too, and it's almost funny how big it is. Yeah. So it must be. Is it almost cartoonish how big it is? It's
now, for a slip joint. Yeah. When you're looking at it as a slip joint, it is incredibly big.
Yeah, oversized.
Yeah, it is oversized, but not humorously oversized. But you'd have to be very determined to carry it. Let's put it like that. I don't know what your job would be, sort of an executioner, then collect the dope money.
Yeah, could be anything like that. Anything. Anyway, what are we on to now?
We'll show something here because another one that I want you to show.
Yeah,
I love this knife.
Let's have a look at the Ganzo. This is a knife that's been sitting at the back of my drawer for years, and I just love this. Shall we go to knife cam?
Yep. Get her out. Get her out. This is a Ganzo, and
Is it this? I can't remember. Is it 757?
I can't remember. If I could stop shaking, it'd be all right. No, it's the FH11.
FH11. Yes.
This is when Ganzo was changing from the G lock and going to D2 and also their first flippers.
That's right.
And this was one of the first ones, the 11. It is a fantastic knife. Do you know what reminds
this is the
me
small,
of?
because they do a bigger model.
Well, do they now?
Yeah.
Well, they only done one at that time when it first came out, when I had it. But it is such a lovely flipper. The only thing that D10's good in this one. Mine wasn't as good. This is maybe just a wee bit later made, but this is a gorgeous. Reminds me of like a Ray Laconico, or you know, with that simple blade shape.
Yeah, it's that simple drop.
Yeah,
it absolutely.
And it just does. You know it's going to be good.
And that's exactly why it appealed to me. Well, it was the size of it as well, because I always, after I got a couple of the full size knives, I started going for the Ganzo smalls, because the good thing about Ganzos is that they do the range of the same knives, usually in the full size, medium and small. So the 727s that we've got are the small versions of it, and this was the small version of the FH11, which is
I had the bigger. Would have been the bigger version, and it was the D10 wasn't great on this one. The other ones were good D10s, but this one, the whole range at that time,
just
wasn't that great. But I loved the knife.
Yeah,
to
the
use
design
this
of it is fabulous. It really is.
And this little ridge, it has this little ridge, if you see, going up the centre of it. And see when you put your hands in it,
it just sucks you in, doesn't it? Yeah.
You're actually feeling. It's not the most comfortable knife because the clip's not great. I didn't like these clips either.
They are quite beefy.
Uncomfortable. Yeah. For long-term use, I wouldn't want to hold this without a pair of gloves on. Mm-hmm. But as just an EDC knife, when you're going to take it out, give something a quick clip, and away you go. I think it's just inoffensive. Yeah, is the word I would use. Efficient and inoffensive.
And again, it was one of those. It's one of those knives that you could find plenty of uses for because it's so practical.
Yeah. And again, the size on this is absolutely perfect. This has got just under 3-inch cutting edge. Yeah. In fact, it's got just under 3-inch right up to the end of the bolt. So, I mean, apart from the lock, this would be UK legal. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But super, it really is. And please, if you've never tried Ganzos, you've got to go back and try them because they're so good.
And there's such a good range of stuff.
My two favourite is the one that looks like the PM2 and the one that looks like a Delica. I think if you want to buy two knives that can do any jobs that you ever want EDC wise, and you haven't got a lot of money, but you like the shape of the Delica, you like the shape of the PM2, which most people do, let's be honest. There's two knives you can buy. It'll probably cost you 50 quid for two knives, and you're covered. Yeah, and they're in 440C.
But just to feed into the other side of that, for those folk who don't like the idea of buying a knife that is potentially or looks like another knife, they have plenty of designs that are their own and are definitely and there's an awful lot of them that are really interesting just to play around with.
But their PM2 model was smaller. Yeah, and it had an axis lock. So it's not a PM2.
Oh no, there's similarities.
Yeah, there's similarities. And it had Ganzo all over it. Exactly. It wasn't a clone. I don't mind clones either. Yeah. No, I mean, that always gets me in trouble. But
I know, but what I'm saying is, for those of you
who
have an issue with that, which is absolutely fine, don't let that put you off Ganzo, because there's plenty of other knives that they do that could appeal to the original sort of your original kind of bent.
But again, and when I sort of was doing it, yes, they look like certain knives. Now, you'll get a company comes out with a knife that sells well, and the next 5 knives that you come out, you guarantee will be from different companies, and it looks incredibly like it. Yeah, that's true. And it's changed completely, and that's only in 6 years. So how will it change in the next 6? I mean, you used to get ribbed something rotten, or oh, yeah, he's buying Chinese. Now everybody's buying Chinese knives. They're the best knives in the market in some instances. Yeah. So,
it's a different game altogether.
It really is.
It really is.
But it can change very quickly, which is why I keep saying to people, be careful, because don't buy knives because you think they're going to go up in value. Because they're 40-year-old does not mean they'll go up in value. Because once that 40-year-old comes, and then you'll get something like the 940 turns 40. Yeah. You're gone, because it's the one everybody's going to want. Yeah. So you have to be very careful on what you're collecting and why you're collecting it.
Yeah. That's very true. And again, when it comes down to collecting anyway, it's all going to be personal taste at the end of the day. It's what actually floats your boat as much as anything else.
I mean, there's none of my knives I've got for my collection except for the ones that I've designated, like my father. I bought one for my father. That'll go to my big lad now. He'll get that no matter what happens. And so other than that, the rest will go wherever they want to go.
Absolutely.
I'm just hoping one of the grandchildren will want. I don't care whether it's girl or boy. No care whatsoever.
Yeah, well, there's still time.
Oh yeah,
there's still time.
Yeah, I keep saying that.
In the meantime, right. So that was the Ganzo. What's your turn? What's up?
Right. What's up next? Here's one that I think this is a pretty knife. I'm going to give you, and you can describe that knife. That's snakewood as well.
Snakewood again, and
Damascus blade. Isn't that lovely?
That is beautiful. So there you go.
That's beautiful. Guys. Can you guess the model? If you've got one, don't guess. But can you guess what model? It really is.
Is it that Japanese word?
Yeah, not Japanese. Chinese.
It's Chinese.
Yep. It's got the most beautiful, and then the Damascus holds an edge perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The snakewood is perfect. You have a lanyard at the back.
Brass bolster is unbelievable, and. Oh! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Shouldn't I have done that?
No. Yeah, it's all right.
Is it one of the ones that you shouldn't?
Sometimes it'll wrap if you give it a real thump on the back. No, it won't wrap there, will it? It'll wrap up here. You see this bit?
Yeah.
It's just a wee bit high. I need to take a look. I don't even think there's anything there. Have a look. It shouldn't be. Sometimes you will get a tiny wee bit of roughage where it wraps on the back of the.
Yeah, there's a little bit. Oh, yeah. No. Actually, I think that's just a wee stain on the blade.
But it's just a beautiful knife.
It is.
And it's
absolutely gorgeous.
It's a Tucson.
It's a Tucson?
It's a Tucson slip joint. If you haven't got one, get one. It's just because I think there's very few of them now. You would see them on but that is
Tucson
gorgeous.
Always make
and it's like if you notice this, we'll probably see it, but they'll not. There's like a lovely purpley hue of that Damascus.
Yeah, there really is. See, now put it under the. Let's go to the knife cam, see if we can get a better.
This I think is one of the bargains. You can still get bargains out there. There you go. Look at that. That snakewood is better. Is better than it's on my. Look at my snakewood. There's my. It's so hard to see this snakewood in my GEC until you go outside in the sunlight, and look at the snakewood on that. It is amazing. Brass pins, brass bolster, and that Damascus is the most beautiful pattern on both sides. It is gorgeous, right up the back of the spine. It is a beautiful, beautiful knife, and for 60 quid. Now that's what I paid for it quite a while ago. I just think it's lovely.
It's a lovely wee knife.
Really, really nice knife.
So really unusual as well. It reminds me of one. The form factor and everything just reminds me of one. I can't remember the name of it. It'll come back to me.
And like it's a knife that could be your EDC. It's what's the length of it? The close length is 3.5 inches. So that's a good knife.
Oh God, here we go.
What will happen?
John saying it has a lovely purpley hue. They're being rude again, Stephen.
They're being rude, yes. I never think of things like that, do I?
No, absolutely. Think of things of what? Like what? Of course not. Anyway, moving on.
I don't even know who Hugh is.
Moving very swiftly on. Okie dokie. Now, you won't believe this, Stephen, but we've been here for over an hour already.
Have we?
Yeah, we have. So we're going to have to start wrapping it up, but we haven't even got through half the night.
No, we'll do it again.
We will. We'll do it again next time.
If you enjoyed it, let us know if you enjoyed this. And there's no point putting in the comments here. Wait till the video's uploaded. And then if you I'd really appreciate if you had a comment in there. Did you like what we done tonight? Would you like to see more of it? Would you like to see more knives and less talking? Just put whatever you want. We'll not be offended. And we can block you anyway.
And there's John. He's saying if we've got any extra leprechaun patches, apparently he's got an idea of what to do with them. I'm not sure.
No,
those are
we haven't got any.
Ideas.
Yeah, no. No. There's only me and Justin getting them, and the winner of the Christmas big prize.
So make sure you enter for the Christmas big prize, John. Make sure you enter the big.
It's a lovely big prize.
I can't believe it's the middle of July and we're talking about Christmas already. Look,
yeah, I've stopped doing the small ones. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't afford to do, because I open end, I do them to America as well, but I couldn't afford to, like, every 250 or 500. It would cost me a bloody fortune.
Oh, no.
I'd be on the poorhouse.
You'd be giving away more than you're actually getting. Yes, we need to see some Paddy and Judd merch. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad enough that I have to sit with them in this ridiculous getup.
We don't have such a thing as a spring store over here that I know of. In America, they get a design that they'll put on anything that you want to buy from their store.
Fantastic.
And then they post it to whoever, the person buys it off them, and you get a percentage. But
sorry, Matt, but my knees and, well, Paddy's obvious sort of.
I'll do a jig. Christmas.
Stephen will do a jig at Ireland. My river dance days are over, unfortunately.
I'll get him up, don't you worry.
And again, that goes in nicely with the other ones. We're stuffed now, okay? 2.5 inches of purple hue, and I'll get him up. We're absolutely done for now, okay? So, guys, thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I think we'll wrap it up there. Honestly, it keeps on going faster every week. we really do have to stop talking so much. But thanks very much for joining us and for all your contributions. How do you stop
talking on a podcast?
Well, you could just sit here and hold knives up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would work quite as well. I know I wouldn't
not
have
with
as
this
much
lot.
fun. No, probably not. But thank you guys. It's you guys who make it worthwhile doing that, to be said. Because otherwise I'd be stuck in a room on my own with him.
And I'll get him up.
Folks, thanks a million. See you next week.
Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
My God, that went fast.